This is Spirit Queen, aka Melly Mel. Tonight we have a special guest coming on. This is Let's Talk Podcast. Monday nights, not every Monday, on our YouTube A444. You can even watch them on our Instagram page on Flow, or you can go to our website and check out some of our services, which we have yoga, we have spiritual consultations, we have divine readings. We also have our glass tumblers. Do not forget about the glass tumblers because it's more healthier to drink out of glass. And if you don't want to do glass, we are copper glasses. So that's something, again, we did copper a couple weeks ago. We're going to touch back on that. But right now, uh, we don't have anything copper, but it will be coming. And our website for dash DA dash, you can DM us, okay? Because this is the platform for you to receive knowledge and wisdom. And I've written a kid's book that I published a couple weeks ago, and I'm not getting into details about that yet. That podcast is coming soon. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the host and the co-host. Okay, so remember, you have to love yourself first before you can love everything. That it's kids. It doesn't matter if it's a boyfriend, girlfriend. You still have to love yourself first, because when you love yourself first, that means that you know how to love someone else and you accept them in your space. A lot of times things don't work in relationships because we're lost. Half of us, our parents never even taught us what love was is. So just yourself, make sure it on your kids. Take your own self on a date. If it's just get ice cream cone, if it's just go to the movie, if it's going shopping, because right now the world is.
All right. Peace, love, and light, everyone. How is everyone doing out there? I am your host, Sun Goddess. I am so excited to be on today because, yes, I'm going to call her, we have a radio icon that we're going to be talking to today. Kiki, the first lady, and stems back from the 90s. So we gonna definitely get into some good vibes, and I can't wait. Make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel, Food for the 444. Also, our Instagram, make sure you like and subscribe there as well, at Food for the Soul 444 as well. And then our website is foodforthesoul.org.
So I hope y'all, enjoy tonight. And yeah, I know I'm enjoying myself. I'm excited as well. And let's just get into it.
I really want to kind of touch base on this before we bring her up. I actually was into the music scene when I actually met Kiki, the first lady. Okay, and I was doing promotion and always at the radio station, just trying to make a name for myself. And during that time, my company name was P Funk 187, and I had boots to the streets before it even came out in the song. So this is what we did. We were a family. Everybody at the radio station knew Melly Mel. I just want to send some shout outs to DJ Sounds and Pat and Isis Jones. So when I say we go way back, we go way back. I dealt with both radio stations. So when you go away and you leave people, you really don't leave them because you continue to watch them, and you continue to her for Butterfly, and she's on this podcast now. So I just want to give her flowers now. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to wait till people gone and then we give them their flowers. So we don't want to do that. So give us about 2 and 2, and we'll be right back, and we will be bringing the beautiful.
Yes. Okay. But before we start, I just want to say first off, I just want to say thank you all so much for having me on. Sun Goddess, Eternal Goddess, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on the show, Melly Mel, with all of you all tonight. I've just been bursting at the seams to say that. I'm sorry. But thank you all so much. Okay, this is a funny story. So my whole reason for getting into radio all starts with Method Man. Okay. I was living in New York. I was living in New York in Harlem. I was in my apartment on 118th Street between Lenox and 7th watching Video Music Box. Now, Melly Mel, you may remember that from back in the day of the video show. And I was sweeping my floor and I heard this doom, doom, doom. Doing, I turned around, looked at my television, met the man. There he was. Boom. It was like love at first sight. And I was like, oh my God, I got to meet this man, right? So I didn't want him, I wanted to meet him on a professional level. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be they were on Def Jam. So I'm like, I'm gonna be a record rep for Def Jam. So in all of through that, I wound up coming back to St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised in St. Louis, but I was in New York at the time. I came back home because my mom had gotten sick. So I was doing like my little record rep thing, basically repping, local artists, uh, JCD, Jody, shout out to Jody, just clocking dollars, JCD. That was back when like Suave Trade, Trick with a good rap, Jody, JCD, Get Naked, all of them were doing their
Hmm.
thing on like profile back in the
Yeah.
day. So at the time, it was Magic 108, and they had a night show. It was Toss and Ted, DJ
Right.
Vu, and Doc Love. Okay. So something happened, and Toss and Ted and DJ Vu were no longer on the show. So the operations manager at
Right.
the time, his name was Chuck Atkins. He said he wanted to find a female because no woman had ever done nights on St. Louis radio, urban radio before, who was knowledgeable of hip hop to do the night
Hmm.
show. So, Kevy Kev, all of them, they knew me from me doing my little local record rep thing. So they approached me and they like, Kiki, you want to be on the radio? And the first time they asked me, I said no, Sun Goddess, because I was like, oh, I'm going to back to New
What?
York. I'm gonna be a record rep and I'm gonna be Method Man. So then my friends was like, well, maybe you probably should have done that. And telling me I should have done it. I was like, well, they probably won't ask me anymore. I said, but if they do ask me, I'll do it. It'll look good on my resume to get to Def Jam because I was just stuck on stupid to get to Def Jam to meet Method Man. And about 2 weeks later, they asked me again, you sure you don't want to do this? So I said, you know what? I said, okay, I'll do it. I never had any inkling, any interest in doing radio. But I said, you know what? I'll do it. I said, they'll probably fire me in 2 weeks, but at least I'll have it on my resume. And 24 years later, here we are.
Mm.
That is beautiful and that is an amazing story. Let me ask you this.
Wow.
So you didn't have like no type of like um radio like
Okay.
background school. You didn't go to school for radio broadcast and it just came to you like it
So
just came
what
like
made
naturally
you
to where you ended up getting on to 108.
Yeah, I literally walked in off the street and went right on night show. Literally, that never happens. Most people go to broadcast school, they work as an intern, they got to work their way um, to being on a mic. But that was not God's plan. I literally walked in off the street to the night show on the biggest urban station in St. Louis at the time, which was Magic 108. God's plan.
That would talk about manifestation and then too not knowing
Mhm.
that you would still get that deal even with the thing that you was trying to do with they're doing being the rep person too as well because that leads all into it with the radio and all of that.
I was just a natural at it. It's just some things you don't know. It was like discovering your talent. How you discover your talent. I discovered my talent at that point. That like, okay, I have a knack for this.
How long did Magic 108 stay on air? Like and then like what was the reason for it? 'Cause I remember that was like one of the best top radio stations like back in the days, back in the 90s. Everybody tuned in to Magic 108 and then hearing you and tossing Ted and different things like that and you coming in. That was the thing.
Yeah, I started in 1998, and it was actually me and Doc Love that were doing the night show. Toss and Ted, I replaced Toss and Ted and DJ Vu, so it was me and Doc Love. I came on in '98. We had a very successful show for a year. We did a live broadcast every Thursday night from Facades nightclub back in the day. Shout out to Jeff Lamb. And when I tell you, and it was a huge club. That's when live broadcasts were like the thing to do. And we had like a line around the building every Thursday night, slam pack live broadcast Thursday night. That went on for a year. And then in 1999, that's when they brought the beat on the air, 100.3 the beat. So
Right, right,
we got like demoted from like nights, and then we were on overnights, which is midnight to 5, which in radio it's not rated. It's kind of
right.
like the overnight. That's where they put people to start. And so Doc Love decided to leave and go do something else. And so I stayed on night, excuse me. I stayed on overnights and I did my thing. I said I'm gonna make this the best thing I can do. And I was very successful at it. And I had a good time shouting out to the people on third shift, showing love to your folks on lockdown. Yeah, I just had fun with it. Uh, well, actually, that was when I went to Nashville as a program director. I was on the beat. Oh, yeah, I was on the beat for a while, and then I wound up leaving. I got a job offer to go to Atlanta, and I was on the radio there for a year. And then I went to Nashville and took that station. It was a previous, whatever it was, it wasn't hip hop format, but we took it from number 16 to number one in one book. Yes, I did. Well, thank you. Yes, I was in the Army. Like my Army days were well before my days. I was done with the military by the time I got on the radio. Um, but I went in the Army like straight out of high school, like literally. I graduated from high school. Shout out to Normandy Vikings. Okay, I'm a Viking. Graduated from high
Okay,
school, and literally I was in basic training like a couple days later, and I served for 10 years. My first duty station was over in Italy, and I think it gave me a lot of structure, a lot of discipline, and being able to deal with a lot of crazy situations um, calmly, to be calm and chill under pressure.
okay, okay. I got some more questions to ask you. I'm kind of stealing on over to the ladies too and see if they have anything as well too to ask you. Ladies.
So I see why your name is Miss First. I see why your name is First Lady. That is amazing to hear. I have one question to ask you. So, how
Mhm.
was mentoring and being a role model for the females in the Job Corps?
You know what? That was an amazing, amazing experience. Job Corps had reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to come talk to the young ladies there. Job Corps on Kings Highway, and I went. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but when I say we had a fantastic time, the young ladies were very receptive. We got a chance to talk to them. It was me and some other mentors there as well. We shared our life experiences with the young ladies, encouraged them, and yeah, just every week we would go every couple of weeks we would go and talk to the young ladies, and some of them to this day I still keep in contact with. It was a great experience. Some amazing young people in Job Corps. Sometimes Job Corps gets a bad rep, but it's some amazing, very smart, very intelligent young people in Job Corps.
Oh, amazing.
Anything else, ladies? Was you about to say something, Eternal Goddess?
I wasn't about to say nothing.
Well,
It's a,
getting back into it, because
mhm,
I know you've done the radio, you've done army, you've been in the army, you've done radio. Um, let's talk a little bit about your acting career, because
okay.
I want to touch base on that as well too. I've seen a lot of things on your page, a lot of exciting things.
Hmm.
I also know that you got signed to Lucky
So let's
Johnson's
talk
agency
about
as well
film.
in Atlanta. That's pretty big.
Thank
Congratulations with
you.
that.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, everybody know you too, like I said, as a radio icon, but with acting, that's on like that's a whole different stage and a whole different level. What made you want to step behind off of the mic and step into acting and say, hey, I want to try this acting thing. I want to be in front of the lens, I want to be in front of the camera. What made you decide to want to go acting role?
Well, that was a situation where, I had been on the radio. Like I said, I went to Atlanta as a music director, got promoted, was a program director, and I made program director in
Mhm.
2.5 years into my radio career. I don't know of anyone else
Mm,
who made program director. Some people are in radio 10, 15 years. It takes them years and years and years to be a program director. Some people never become a program director. Sometimes they just a music director or an assistant program director. I made program director in 2.5 years
right.
into my radio career. I don't know anyone else who has done that as quickly. Um, so I was in it in Nashville. Then I left Nashville, came back home, went to 95.5, but then I left the radio because my mother was having a kidney transplant, okay? And she was gonna need around the clock care.
Okay.
Me being in the military, I also always kept a job working for the federal government, like a real job, as they say. You have your radio job, then you have your real job. So I was working a lot of hours, with the federal government. Um, and, you know, I had to choose, like, I had to take care of my mother. So basically, I left radio to take care of my mom. And after a couple years, when she was stable and good, I tried to get back into radio. Was not able to do so. Every door was closed, closed, closed. Couldn't get back into radio to save my life. So, and in my hometown of St. Louis, hold on, my earbud keeps coming out. So, um, I was like, okay, all these doors are closing. I was like, you know what? I said, I always wanted to be an actress. I was like, I can't get back in the radio right now. I was like, but let me try this. Let me try this acting thing. I think I can do it. And that's how it all started. Um, I would do like I didn't have any like experience to, send off, like you have to submit for roles. So I would just do little what they call it monologues, and I used that to get hired. And then once I started getting hired for acting roles, then I had stuff to submit. But it was just like, okay, they won't let me back in the radio. I'm gonna make my own lane over here in acting, and it just really took off.
learn some things as well by being in front of the camera and different things like that as well too, right? Because of the facial, like your facial things, and knowing how to be seen on the camera and different things like that when you're submitting to these auditions and different things of that sort, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I'm talking to thousands of people when I'm on the radio, but, you gotta, it's totally different. It helped me in a way, but yeah, it's an adjust, it's totally different. It's a totally different thing.
You you've came a long way too as well. You've got some you've co-starred alongside with hip hop legend Ja Rule. Tell us a little bit about that and how did that role come about?
Right. So the movie's called Hurrah 99. It stars Ja Rule. Um, and I play the wife of a man who is having financial problems. We have a couple of kids, and he convinces our sons to help him rob a bank. I play his wife, the one that's obsessed with Ja Rule. And in the movie, my husband just paid $20,000 to get my body done. And the only reason I bring that up
Wow.
is because, and that's one of the reasons we're in financial trouble. Just him making bad
Yeah.
investments and doing that. And the reason I bring that up is because I actually got my body done in real life, and I know that's not for
Okay.
everybody, but that's a
Yeah.
decision
Yeah.
I made for myself, not for any guy or not to impress anybody. I just didn't like the
Of course.
way, and it was funny, just as women, I always had hips, always had thighs. I just didn't have any butt
Mhm.
to go with it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
and it just didn't match. So I decided to get my body done. And honestly, that was my first major role. And if I hadn't got my body done, because in the casting, they said that they wanted a woman who had basically a surgery body, a body that looked like, she got her body done.
Mm.
And if I hadn't got my body
Okay.
done, I wouldn't have got that role.
Probably wouldn't have
So,
got that.
so it just kind of worked
Wow.
out.
What was it like working on set with Ja Rule? Was he fun?
Yeah, he was super cool. I mean, down to earth, came to set, no security. Um, yeah, and he did his thing. He was really cool. Enjoyed that experience. We shot that in Brooklyn, New York, and we had a movie premiere for it at the American Black Film Festival, but it has yet to be released. And I'm just like, oh my God, we just released the movie already, but that's something
Yes,
that's
we
out of
need
my
to see it.
control.
We need it.
I know. I want y'all to
Okay.
see it, but it's a good movie. People comparing it to people who have seen it are comparing it to the movie Friday. It's a comedy. It's really funny.
Okay. Okay, I bet it is. I bet it is. So, you've also had quite a few other movie projects you've been into as well. You were in Relationship Goals, right? Or no?
Yeah,
Is it
girl, I
a
had a hot
the
hot little 5 second cameo in Relationship Goals, but I'm in there. You
okay?
can see
That's
me.
okay, but that was by Devon Franklin, correct?
Yes,
He was
yes,
the
Megan
director
Good's
behind that.
ex-husband.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And you
What
want
was
me to
it
tell
like
you
working on set with?
let me tell you, girl, it was so funny, right? So, me and Method Man, I met eventually, going back to the story, I eventually met Method Man. We became really good friends. Like, they used to call me the baby sister of the Wu Tang because I used to like catch them and go on tour dates with them, always hang out with them, go see them everywhere. I was like totally down for the Wu Tang Clan. So they consider me family. So on the set of Relationship Goals, right? Now we drove down to Tulsa and I was an extra. I knew he was in the movie, but I didn't know if he was going to be on the set that day, right? So we drive down there. He definitely didn't know I was going to be there. So they have all the extras. They have us all on this one side of this big room, right? So they're like,
Mm.
okay, we're about to bring Kelly Rowland and Method Man out. Do not talk to them. Do not approach them. They will not take pictures. They
Oh.
will not sign autographs. And if anyone approaches them, you will be thrown off
Mm.
the set. Right? So
Ooh.
I'm
Wow.
just like,
Okay.
okay. So soon as Method Man walk
So
out, what
they
I
make it
do?
pretty clear behind they make it pretty clear behind the scenes, huh?
Yeah, you can't approach the stars when you were extra. You just a fill in. They herd you like cattle.
Wow.
You can't approach. You can't say nothing to the stars. That's an automatic get you thrown off the set and
Mm,
blackballed. You'll never be extra in anything else.
wow.
So,
Okay.
uh, soon as Method
Y'all hear
Man
that?
walks on the
Y'all heard
set,
that first.
yeah. What do? I walk right up to him, right? But his back was to me. He didn't see me at first. So I'm walking up to him, and this big, like I'm 5'10", okay? This chick had to be 6'3". I mean, big body, like big chick. She saw me walking towards him, and when I say she started coming at me like the Terminator, like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," like she was coming to like body slam me or something. And so Meth saw her coming like that, so he turned around to see what was going on behind him, and he saw me, right? And so he turned back around. He goes, yo, yo, chill, chill. This family. But baby, when I tell you she stopped, but you could just see the steam and the fire and the smoke coming out her eyes. She wanted to body slam me and throw me off that set so bad.
Oh my goodness.
So bad. But he was like, chill, his family. And he took me out of that group with them. He made sure that I was in that scene that I'm in with him and that you could see my face because basically all the other extras in that scene, all you saw was the back of their heads. But he made sure, he's like, I want her in the scene with me. And he made sure that I was in the scene and I was facing toward the
That's
camera so you could actually see my face. So it's a hot five
what's
seconds, but
up.
you can see me. Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. But you know what? They always say the extras, them the ones that take off. You know what I'm saying? Being them extras. So that's a beautiful thing. What have you like? What do you learn like behind just even being behind the scenes as well? Behind the director scenes and different things like that, and learning from these different artists and learning from these different actors. What have you learned so far?
Just really learn the game, like how sets work, and it's a lot of different dialogues. They have their own language. Because I know when I was shooting that movie with Ja Rule, they kept saying, "Okay, go to Mark." And I'm looking around because I never had any formal acting training either. I take acting classes now, but the first 2 years of my career, I never took an acting class. And so they kept saying, okay, go back to Mark. And I'm not going to ask because I don't want to look stupid. But in my head, I was like, who the hell is Mark? And where is he? I got to get back to him. Not knowing a mark was the mark where you're supposed to go back and stand when they shoot the scene. So they're like, okay, go to Mark, go to Mark. And I'm just looking around
Wow.
like, who the hell is Mark? So it was just learning the different dialogues, seeing how everything works, and just networking. It's been a valuable experience. Being an extra is not for everybody because some extras, they treat you really good. Tyler Perry treats his extras really good, feeds you really good. Some scenes, some sets, some places, they treat extras like crap. So it really depends.
Now, when you do get on set and you get these different roles, well, you get extras, but then you also get roles where you have to talk in the script. Is it hard to remember the script lines when you get big lines, or how does that work for you? Have you learned, like, do you go into your little place and sit and kind of like learn it right, or do you have to learn it right then and there on the set?
No, when you have a speaker role, usually you have enough time to really get your lines down pat. Um, and it's just about everybody does that a different way. It's like whatever works for you. Me, like I'll read it out loud, read it out loud, read it out loud, and then just keep reading it till it kind of sinks in. Then after that, I'll say it. Like once I learn it, I'll say it in the mirror and get like my facial expressions and my movements and what I'm gonna put on it. So I just kind of layer it. I'll get the dialogue, then I'll get the facial movements, then I get the eye movements, and I'll just kind of layer it like that.
Okay, okay. So we talked about the army, we talked about your radio days, we talked about your acting. Let's talk about this new chapter of yours too, this agency that you got signed into. I want you to touch base more on that too as well. And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So just, me being an actor, one thing people say about me is like, they be Kiki hustles and I grind. Like literally me submitting for roles is like a job. It's like a part-time job. I'm constantly
Mm.
submitting myself for roles. And I think I've done well. I got some projects coming up. We could talk about that later, but I've done good as far as that. But once you do so much, you can only go so far. Um, on the casting
Mm.
networks, you need an agent to get you those speaking roles, those bigger roles that like on a platform like Actors Access or Backstage, those roles aren't going to be there. You can only get so far with those platforms, and those are the main ones people use. But to get those speaking roles, or like, do you want fries with that role? Like, like a one five liners or whatever they call them, you need an agent because those roles only come through agents. So I had really been like struggling trying to find an agent. It took me over almost 2 years to finally get signed with an agent after submitting to like quite a few agencies.
And what made you choose Lucky Johnson's out of everyone?
So, I mean, honestly, I was like, okay, it's in Atlanta. And I saw what he was doing, and I was like, okay, and they were open submissions. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna submit. And it was very strict. They wanted this, had to be this way and that way, very strict. So I said, okay, I got all that and I submitted. I'm like, shoot, all they can do is tell me no. And if they tell me no, I'm just gonna go to the next. I'm gonna keep going until somebody tells me yes. And that's what
Okay,
I
so
did.
and then let me ask you this, because I know some agencies do it. Some agencies hinder you from like not where you can't go outside and work. It like with the agency that you're with, are you still able to, of course you're gonna get gigs from that agency, but are you still able to work outside, get bookings for yourself as well outside of the agency?
Yes, it's non-exclusive. The contract I signed with them is non-exclusive, so I can have other agents too.
Okay, okay. Well, that's a
Hmm.
good thing. That's real
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy
All
because
right.
I didn't even realize because I saw him in a lot of Tyler Perry movies, and I'm thinking like, okay, he's doing his thing because he's an actor too. I didn't even realize until after I signed with him. Somebody told me like, that's Tyler Perry's cousin, right? And I didn't know that
Mm,
was his cousin, but he's actually Tyler. And I said, okay, now it makes sense why he's in all these Tyler Perry movies and Tyler Perry series. That's his actual cousin.
wow. Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
So do you want to expand more as well too, as far as I know you're doing acting and different things. Do you want to kind of like produce, direct, and even write some things yourself as far as film wise?
People ask me that a lot. And as of today, right now, I have absolutely no desire to write, produce, direct. I have no desire. I just want to act. I want to come in. I want them to say
All right.
action, and then they say cut, and then I go home. That's
Get
all I
down
want to
to it,
do.
huh?
I just, I feel like I still have so much more to do as far as acting. I have absolutely zero desire to do anything in no producing, none of that. I just don't want to do it right now.
Okay. All right. All right, ladies. I'm gonna take it over to the lady. I feel like I've been talking to you too much. Nah, but you've been oh my gosh, you've been it's been great. It's been great hearing your story.
Awesome. And just too,
You're
people ask me
you're doing
questions.
amazing. You are
I'm
doing
sorry.
amazing.
Thank you.
Definitely. But people always ask me how I got my name, Kiki the First Lady. So I just kind of want to touch on that. So my nickname was Kiki. My father gave me that nickname when I was born. And as far as the first lady, um, according to everybody, I was the first female to ever do nights in urban radio. Because back in the day, like I started in
Mm.
1998. Back in the day, females all they were like a co-host on a morning show, and they did middays. They definitely didn't do PM drive, and they certainly didn't do nights. They might do news or something on PM drive, sports. I mean, like news and weather or something like that. But it was no female who had ever done nights on urban radio before me. So that's why they call me Kiki, the first lady in St. Louis. Let me make that
Wow.
clear. First female to ever do urban to do night show on urban radio in St. Louis. That's me. Because people be always like, first lady, first lady of what? Or first, are you the second lady? I
Now,
get, oh, if I had $1 for every time somebody was said that second lady stuff.
now this is a question I'm gonna ask too, strictly
That's how
because
you
we
got
have
your
so many talented people, in St. Louis, and a lot of people say they have to leave St. Louis in order to be, successful in different things of that sort. Do you think that's true or not, or do you think you can still build your empire in while being in St. Louis? But you got to be around the right people.
I agree with that 100%. We were just having that conversation. We were thinking of like all the people who have blown up from St. Louis: Nelly, Sexy Red, Sterling K. What's his name? Sterling K. What's the
Cedric the
actor?
Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer, Sterling K. Young. Everybody that has blown up that is from
Got Tori.
God, Joe Torre, they have all had to leave St. Louis, blow up, and then come back. I don't know one person who has from St. Louis, born and raised here, stayed here, and blown up on a national level. Not one. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
that I agree with that 100. But that's the truth. Hopefully that will change one day because you have people like Brenda Hampton, who is a best-selling author, very successful screenplay writer who just started Black Girl Powerhouse and is making movies in St. Louis. Um, so hopefully,
Okay.
people things will change. And I know they doing some
I
sound
was just
stages
gonna say
somewhere.
too because yeah, I was just gonna say too because St. Louis had a at one point of time, I don't know, I think they brung it back. They had their film credit in St. Louis as well too, right?
I'm not sure that
Do they still
I
have
don't
this the,
know.
the film credit going on or no?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know one time I know they had it and then it was gone and then I know that they had brung it back as well too.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be awesome to see, somebody stay in St. Louis and blow up on the national stage from St. Louis. But it just seems like you got to either go to LA, New York, Atlanta, somewhere else, and make it happen for yourself.
What's next for Kiki? Hollywood? What's next? What's what are you building something bigger besides acting? What's next?
Well, right now, like I said, the acting just has me in a chokehold. I really love it. Um, I have some projects coming up. I did I've done some national things. I did an episode of We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Also, TV One. This hasn't been released yet, but you know how they had those crime reenactment shows. I'm the lead actor for TV
Mm-hmm.
One's For My Man. You ever seen that show?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, For My
I've heard
Man.
of
It's a
it.
it's a crime reenactment show, and I'm the lead actress on that. Season 10. This is the upcoming season. I did like 3 episodes of P Valley this season. Season 3, they just will not bring it. I don't know what is going on with P Valley, but no speaking parts in that. But I
Man.
had like I was a featured extra in that, and I'm on 3 episodes of P Valley season 3 when if they ever decide to put P Valley back on the air. And
Wow.
um couple other projects. I got some movies coming up with Brenda Hampton, um, and some other projects
Okay.
with some movies I shot in Atlanta that are scheduled to come out. And are you familiar with Darren Henson, the actor? He started out as a choreographer. He was Lim in
Hmm.
Soul Food, Darren's Dance
Well,
Grooves back
I
in the
don't even
day. He's on a family
see.
business
I
right
don't, I
now.
don't even
He
know.
plays
I don't even
Orlando.
remember. See, I remember Dave Scott and them, but Darren Hickson sound familiar though.
Right, he's on a family business. He's been on family business for 6 seasons. He's been in a ton of stuff, and he was a choreographer for
Wait a minute.
like
Are you talking
Prince.
about that? Are you talking about Darren? Are you talking about Darian Henderson?
Henson, Henson.
Henson. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know you're talking about now.
Yeah, so
Because
that's
he's a
my
choreographer. He dances well too.
hmm
Henson.
so that's my
Wow.
cousin.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
cousin. So, because my last name is Henson too.
Okay.
So I recently connected
Right,
with
because he played in
him.
Stump the Yard, correct?
Yes, he did. He's been
Yep.
in quite a few
Yep. Played in
movies.
Stump the Yard. Yeah.
Yep. So
True
I
to the game. All of that. Yeah.
all of that, yeah. So I recently connected with him. I knew he was my cousin because we're all descendants of Matthew Henson. And
Okay.
Taraji's my cousin too. I just haven't met her yet. But I made up my mind. I said I'm gonna meet
That's my
Darren,
girl.
yeah, I'm gonna meet Darren and I'm gonna meet Taraji. And I was able to meet Darren and make the connection with him. And like I said, we all are descendants of Matthew Henson. He was an explorer that
Wow.
co-discovered the North Pole with a gentleman by his last name
Oh,
was Perry. So
Wow.
so I'll
That's
be working
amazing.
on some
that
projects
See
with
the
you
Darren
got to
connection.
coming
bring
up
Sometimes you
too.
don't even know when you connect with. That's crazy. Like you don't even know, like when you connect with even with certain people in the industry, you wouldn't know who you related to.
Right. But I sought them out. I was like, okay.
That
I was like, I am going to meet them. I'm going to meet him. I
that's
was always a
crazy.
fan of his. And of course, we all love Taraji. So I was like, I'm going to meet them and, let them know that we are related, distant cousins, but we are still cousins. We all have the same last name. And, yeah, so Darren has a lot going on, and I'll be working with him on some projects coming up as well.
okay. We're gonna have to get you out here too to Arizona too, Kiki.
I would love to come to
That's where
Arizona.
I'm at. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of things popping here, and especially with film and music, just all of that stuff.
We're
So
going to
absolutely.
I'll come out.
back
I will come out
on.
there. Sure will.
Oh man, this was so amazing. It was so great hearing your story and just being, you know what I'm saying, being in your presence. Um what is one thing that you would say to anybody out there that's actually trying to get started into like maybe the radio industry, the media business, or even just trying to act and they're stuck or they're scared? What would you say?
I would say go for it. Believe in yourself. I don't care what anybody, because you got to have thick skin. You're going to get a lot of no's or people telling you what you can't do. You too old. You not pretty. Are you too fat? Are you not this? Or you not that? But you don't believe in yourself. It don't matter what anybody tells you. You know how many people laughed in my face when I told them I was going
Much.
to be an actress? Laughed in my face. Oh, Kiki, you can't do that. But you know what? I'm like, I
Hmm.
was like, whatever, watch. And that just gave me more motivation. People telling me what I couldn't be and what I couldn't do, that just
Yes.
motivated me and put a fire underneath me. Like, okay, you think I can't do
Mm.
this? Watch me. And yeah,
They
so it
said,
don't matter what
yeah,
nobody says.
yeah, speaking of that, they said the same thing about me and Spirit. Spirit, when she left St. Louis, and, of course, fortunate now she has this podcast going that's really took off, over the years. and I'm super proud of her and different things like that. But when she left St. Louis, everything took off. You know what I'm saying? And then I
Mm-hmm.
had a vision that I was supposed to be leaving St. Louis, and like right when I left STL, everything took off for me. So,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of people, oh, you're not, this is this, and Arizona is this, and you're gonna do it. I'm like, look, all I gotta do is have faith in God, and God is leading me. So,
Because everybody can't see your vision, but it's not their vision, it's your vision. So if anybody out there, I say go forward, don't listen to any negativity, and just keep going, keep throwing, like they say, throwing something on the wall, something's gonna stick. You might get 100 no's, but you gonna get that yes. You just gotta keep going, and you gotta be okay with not being seen. You gotta be okay with not being recognized. You gotta be okay with that and be strong enough to keep pushing through that, because you're gonna feel a lot of, man, I should have got that role, or man, like, a lot of rejection. Well, you're not it, you're not this, we're not looking for that. You got to be able to deal with that. You got to have a thick skin, because like I said, one day you're gonna get that yes you looking for.
well, we appreciate you, Kiki. Before we leave, go ahead and plug all of your social media platforms in case anybody wants to connect with you, get in contact with you, and yeah.
Okay. Well, it's Kiki the First Lady, and that's Kikithe, the word first, the word lady. I don't use one. But you can find me on Facebook's TikTok. Not so, I gotta do better at TikTok, y'all. But like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Kiki the First Lady on all social media platforms. Reach out. I try my best to reach back out to people. I always try to network with people. I know a lot of things about this industry. People gatekeep and they don't share stuff. And I get it, but I don't. I choose not to do that. I choose to try to help people out. So whatever I can do to help, if I can, I will. I'm all about, people networking and coming together and making something happen. So yeah, Kiki the First Lady on all social media platforms. Look for me this year on TV One, season 10 for My Man. I don't know what episode number yet. That's coming out. I have a movie, My Neighbor's a Witch, which we shot in Atlanta. That's coming out. Also, right now, I have movies streaming on the Remy Network and Amazon Prime Video. Three the Hard Way, that just got nominated for a whole bunch of ACE Honors Awards in Atlanta. Um, I got, and a movie coming out from St. Louis too, that's coming out, Team Wood Films, and it's called Varsity Life. And that's a really good movie. It stars like so many people, all St. Louis cast, and it's called Varsity Life. It's Team Wood Films. Shout out to them, two amazing, amazing filmmakers and people in general. That's coming out this year. So I need all of St. Louis to support Varsity Life, Teamwood Films, because you're gonna see everybody in that movie is so good.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on tonight. Peace, love, and light to you. May you be blessed in all of that you're doing right now.
Wrong if I didn't mention Foxy 1069, my radio station. I am on the radio. Please tune in to Foxy 1069 FM. It is owned by the Roberts Broadcasting, and it's the only Black owned local radio station in St. Louis. I do 3 to 7 p.m. afternoon drive, Foxy 106.9 FM. You can download the app. We're a smaller station, but we represent St. Louis. Like I said, we're the only one that's Black owned, and we're all about St. Louis and the Ill Side. Got a shout out to East St. Louis because that's my fan. I grew up half my life over in East St. Louis, so got a shout out to the Ill Side. Love y'all too, and yeah, check me out every day on Foxy 106.9, 3 to 7. You can download the app. Apple or Android, and you can hear us crystal clear. And radio. I love acting, but radio is my first love. I'm gonna always try to do be involved in radio till I just can't do it no more.
Thank you.
And thank you all again for having me. I really appreciate.
Okay, we don't want you to go anywhere. Don't leave yet. In for the first lady, for that radio personality. Make sure you get your votes in. I don't know when that takes place, but make sure you vote for Kiki, the first lady. We want to thank you again for coming to our platform and blessing our platform. You were really amazing, and we would like to come back. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close us out.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I'm peace, love, and light, everyone. We man, this was
We hear you
amazing. Like I
now.
said, I'm again. We do this on Monday nights at 7 p.m. CST time. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in. Make sure you follow our YouTube channel at Food for the 444, where you receive ancient knowledge and wisdom. Please follow our Instagram at Food for the 444. Let's Talk Podcast. If you would like to be a guest on the show, please hit us up. Love y'all.
Peace, love, and light.